A very pleasant evening to you and welcome to Atlantic Television's Press Roundtable. Press Roundtable is a convergence of media practitioners who dissect news and current affairs to provide the right balance. So today on Press Roundtable, we will be discussing food security, smuggling responsible for food scarcity in Nigeria, says Agri Minister. Need BVN linkage, consider Nigerians in diaspora, WUKO begs CBN. And also in Taraba State, we're going to look at what Commissioner confirms Lassa fever outbreak right now in Taraba State. And on hardship, we would see Nigeria's economy not in distress, says our president. So when we come back from this short break, I'm going to introduce to you the guests we have on tonight's program. Stay tuned.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories.
People into the country.
All right, glad to have you back on Press Roundtable on Atlantic Television Network. Guest this evening, I have Cletus Okpong. He's a broadcast journalist. He's going to join us right now. And I also have Awuzie Franklin Chinedu. He's also a media practitioner. So my name is Angel Wokom. I'm the host. Now let's look at the top stories from food security. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Yari, has said that part of the factors affecting food availability in the country is the smuggling of food out of Nigeria to other neighboring countries. The minister said this today while addressing members of the House of Rep during the sectorial debate on agriculture and food security. Now, present at the sectorial debate at the Minister of State, Agriculture and Food Security, Sabi Abdullahi, and Controller General, Nigeria Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, among top government officials who were present. According to him, he said, we have seen smuggling of stuffs to other neighboring countries. This has affected the availability of food items in the country, the minister said. Also speaking at the debate, the Controller General of Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, also said that Nigeria Customs Service has commenced the sale of seized food items to vulnerable Nigerians to address hunger across the country. According to him, President Bola Tinubu has directed that food items produced in Nigeria and seized at the Nigerian land borders be sold directly to vulnerable Nigerians to ease the challenge of hunger in the country. He also said that Mr. President has directed that we sell directly to the needy Nigerians food items produced locally but which we are seized. This is one of the ways to address hunger and food scarcity we are facing in the country. We have started this in Lagos. Also, the president has also directed that imported food items seized by the Nigerian Customs Service should be sold back to the local markets for resale to Nigerians. I don't know if you would really follow up to that story. Cletus, I hope you're there. Hello, let me start from you, Cletus. Cletus Okpong, yes, okay. You're very welcome to Atlantic Television Press Roundtable. I don't know if you really follow up to the stories about the food security. They are actually saying by the Agri-Minister, he said that the smuggling of food is actually the major reason of scarcity of food in Nigeria. What can you say about that?
Okay, first, before having me and me say this, that I'm not a broadcast journalist. I work with Premium Times newspaper. I'm an editor in charge of South and Southeast region of Nigeria. All right, so now, I mean, the minister is understandable for him to make such comments because at this moment, the government is just looking at or for anything to defend itself because of the tension we're having. But if we have to be sincere about the challenges right now, you know, it has nothing to do with smuggling. Rather, it has much to do with high cost of transportation, which is caused by removal of the fuel subsidy by Tinubu administration. So the price of services, goods and services, the prices have increased astronomically. So for that reason, those dealing with food, those who are into farming, they are also they are part of the society, so they are having challenges as well, paying for the high cost of transportation. For that reason, they have to pass the high price of food items to the common man. Take for instance, if you are bringing food item all the way from, let's say, Kano down to, let's say, River State, you have to pay an exorbitant rate, for the transportation. So the farmers or the middlemen will definitely not want to bear the cost of this high price. So they have to shift it to the buyers, to the end users. For instance, let me tell you, I'm in Akwa Ibom. The bulk of the gari that we eat in Akwa Ibom is from Cross River states. I think either the northern part or the middle, the central part of Cross River, like Ugen and all that. So now, a person of gari, probably which is like half bag, would be like about 7,000 naira. But bringing it down here to Akwa Ibom, you need to pay for transportation.
Oh, okay. Now let's hold it there, because we also have another person. I just want to take this on from you because you said the major problem is just only transportation. So I want to go over now to Franklin Awuzie. I want to see his take. Franklin Awuzie, are you there?
Yeah, thank you so much, my sisters, for having me.
Okay,
program.
You're very welcome to the show. You're very welcome.
Yeah,
so actually, we're looking at this the smuggling of these food items, and the agri minister said that the smuggling of these food items is actually responsible for the food scarcity we are experiencing today in Nigeria. What do you say about that? Because my colleague here from the Premium Times said is only concerned about the transportation. So what's your take on this?
Well, smuggling of food to outside the country is part of the problem. But when you want to deal with a problem, I think you have to look at the genesis of the problem. Because I believe that the problem identified in half of. When you want to solve a problem, you have to first of all look at what are the reasons why what is happening. And I can tell you for free that the reason why people are smuggling food, like my brother said, is transportation is part of it. But the leadership of the country is not doing enough. Because I believe even in that border, there are anti-smuggling agencies, there are anti-smuggling personnel that are in charge of fighting people that are smuggling food. What are they doing there? But why are they smuggling this food out? If you look at what my brother said here, transportation is one place, and I agree with him. Why I agree is because people are looking, because of the high cost of petrol, the high cost of transportation, people are looking for an easier way to make ends meet. Do you understand me? So exactly. I agree with him in that regard. And again, when you talk about smuggling of food items to another country, you have to look at, number one, what are the causes? Are the government doing what they are supposed to do to stop this? They're not doing it. And then are you now blaming people that are smuggling the food because things are no longer working for them? You can't blame them. There's no way you can blame them. So they have to, first of all, curtail the excesses, the price of transportation in this country is supposed to reduce drastically. So I agree with him on that regard. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so very much. And now I want to look at this, the other one that said the president has also directed that imported food items seized by the Nigerian Customs Service, they should be sold back to the local market for resale to Nigerians. So what do you think about that? Let me come to you, Kletos, please. Kletos Ukbong, what do you think about what the president said?
Well, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. What would you do? I mean, I think it's the right thing to do, but that can never solve a problem. That can never solve our food crisis at all. So, it's okay, because generally they can't throw away those items. So it's okay. I think it's best for them to sell it at a low rate to Nigerians. But the challenge here for me is how to make sure that people don't exploit the system. Officials of the Nigerian government do not exploit the system as usual by either selling it to to their own family and friends, who in turn probably could use it to make money.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That means they have to do. Thank you so very much. That means they have to do the necessary thing. Once it's been said, okay, resell to the masses, they should do the same as being directed by them. Now we also have other 3 stories coming up. The second one has to do with the need of the BVN linkage that said, consider Nigerians in diaspora. WUCO begs CBN. Now let's look at the stories. Abuja World United Consumer Organization WUCO has urged the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to create remote access methods and alternative procedures for Nigerians in diaspora to be able to link their national identity number NIN and bank verification number BVN. The Global Advocacy Group, which is dedicated to ensuring equitable access to essential services for consumers worldwide, equally urged the Apex Bank to reconsider its deadline for the NIN BVN linkage. I don't know if you're following this stories. Now, in a statement it issued on Tuesday, that's today, WUCO through its president and human rights lawyer, Mr. Clement Osuya, stress that though the CBN directive may be well intentioned, it fails to consider the unique challenges Nigeria living abroad face. It decried that the Apex Bank did not make adequate provisions for those with remote access to their funds. Additionally, it does not offer any viable means for Nigerians living abroad to link there and obtain their NIN, WUCO added. It will be recalled that the CBN had instructed all bank customers to link their NIN and BVN to their bank accounts. The Apex Bank equally directed that banks should place restrictions on all Tier 1 bank accounts without BVN. Now, in his statement, WUCO noted that the directive places a burden on Nigerians in diaspora as it mandates them to visit enrollment centers for biometric capture at NIN centers, and they have to do that physically. He further noted that those in diaspora could not comply with the NIN registration deadline owing to COVID-19 pandemic and that result in travel restrictions. Now, it is imperative to highlight that over 70 million accounts are at risk of being blocked if they are not linked with the NIN. Yet, there are no explicit provisions for remote linkage or alternative processes for Nigerians in the diaspora. This lack of consideration for the diverse circumstances of Nigerian-backed customers, especially those residing outside the country, is deeply concerning. The World Consumer Organization, demands an immediate review of the prevailing directive and calls upon the CBN to introduce robust and accessible means for Nigerians outside the country who do not have a national identification number to link their NIN to their account. Now let's look at this story like this. You see what the WUCO is saying, begging the Apex Bank, that's the Central Bank of Nigeria. in order for them to consider those Nigerians living in diaspora because of their NIN and their BVN. Now, what do you think is going to happen? Because most of them are not here in Nigeria, they're not physical. What do you think should be done to really help these people living in diaspora to make sure that they are already integrated into the system, so that there's no lacuna, there's no void, and it's not going to affect them, it's not going to affect their finances? Now they're saying that they're going to block some of them, they're going to block the accounts if they're not linked. What do you say about this? Because I think it's not going to really go down to, well, for Nigerians living in abroad. Cletus, please.
Okay, thank you. Now, you see, I have a problem here.
Okay.
Very simple. It's as if nothing worked in Nigeria. Every little thing that we try to do, right from the best thing, like if having a license plate number,
yes,
is an issue in this country. I mean, it's not like this. I have never heard this kind of news from other countries. If you're a Nigerian and you have a certain number, whether they call it BVN, whether they call it NIN, whatever name they want to call it, they should make it so smooth. Nigerians should be able to get this thing ease. No noise about it.
Okay.
If you go to the United States, if you go to US,
okay,
the social security number. When you have the social security number, I mean, that's okay. Every other thing you're going to do, you have your license plate number, everything, payment of that is linked to that number, and no noise about it. So this is frustrating that at this moment we are still talking about to get Nigerians overseas to get their PVN. How horrible can this be? I mean, so I don't know what else to say, but this is still the Nigerian story.
Okay, so okay, so what you're trying to say is that they should do it quietly without making any noise about it. Now I want to go to Franklin. Franklin, you remember that the people, Nigerians living in abroad, in the diaspora, most of them are really contributing to the financial inflows in the country, which is significantly impacting Nigerians. Now, these people have come, the CBN says, if you don't link your BVN, if you don't link your NIN, you are going to be locked out. What do you say about it? What's your take on this? Franklin, I will see Chinedu.
Well, my sister, it is quite unfortunate that Nigeria, as a like came on backward in everything they are doing. This issue of the BVN, linking of NIN and BVN, it is something even an apprentice or a software programming or an engineer can do without, just like a brother said. I don't understand at this point. We are still talking about something that we can simply do without giving Nigerians a lot of burdens. Do you know that in the United States of America, for instance, they take common Nigerian driver's license so serious. Nigerian driver's license are taken so serious. But in this country, if you go to banks, they will ask you for BPN, they will ask you for this, they will keep letting data, something that they can actually create a kind of a central biometric data, just organize the whole thing and put it in one center. Why are they having all these difficulties in arranging this thing? This is something they can do without even making noise, like my brother said. Linking of BVN, national identity, everything has biometric data on it. So linking it is not a problem. You can manage it. Nigeria can create one portal for biometric data. It's simple. So why have a Nigerian in overseas come to Nigeria just because of BVN or linking or something? This is like bringing more burden on the suffering Nigerians. So for me, I suggest they should merge. Suggest they should link all these things together. It's a simple thing to do. Every good software programmer or engineer can do this thing. Why are they making it as a big deal? Okay. You understand? So I support the idea that they should stay where they are and let this thing be done electronically. It's very simple thing.
Okay, all right. Thank you so very much, Franklin. I also want to appreciate your point, Mr. Cletus Okpong, because he said that they have to do it without making a noise. And even the CBN, that they know what to do. The Central Bank of Nigeria, they should do what they were supposed to do. Merging it, like Franklin says, once they merge it, you know, everything, software, all the software programmers, they can do something really meaningful. Because the Central Bank of Nigeria, they should also know that Nigeria right at this point is having most concerns. There is, in fact, we have issues here we are tackling in Nigeria that they should be concerned about. And also, she also considered the people, their contributions, those people living abroad, how they are finances is flowing into Nigerians' economy, what they are doing, they have to consider them. But at this point, I want us to take a short break. And when we come back, we are going to look at 2 stories more. Just stay tuned.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring honest pop news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
You're very well. Welcome back to the press roundtable on Atlantic Television Network here. My name is Angel Wokroma, and this evening I'm having Franklin Awozie Chinedu, and I'm also having Cletus Okpong. Most of them are right here with me, and I just want to mention my colleague who just who has been standing by here. His name is Kingsley George Papami. Kingsley George Papami, you're very welcome. Okay, let's look at the stories now. Taraba State Commissioner confirms Lassa fever outbreak, because there's an outbreak right now in Taraba State. Yes. The Taraba State Commissioner for Health, Buma, on Tuesday, that's today, confirmed the outbreak of Lassa fever in the state. Making the confirmation via a telephone interview with our media crew, the commissioner said out of the 9 suspected cases that were recorded last week Friday, 8 turned out positive for the viral hemorrhagic fever. Buma assured that the State Ministry of Health is closely monitoring the situation and collaborating with the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) and the Federal Medical Center Jalingo FMC authorities to contain the spread of the disease. It is not a surprising thing. This is the season, and we have made preparations through the outbreak, maybe overwhelming, he just said. I just received support from NCDC that they have sent some people here to provide technical support with the aim of stopping the progress of the disease. We are actually on top of it. We have provided support as a state to the FMC to provide a free treatment to patients of Lassa fever, he said. Now, the acting head of clinical services at FMC Jalingo, Joseph Kuni, provided further insight on the outbreak, revealing that the center currently has 10 patients in its isolation ward, with some awaiting test results. Now, Kuni said, from January to February, the center had recorded 19 deaths from the isolation center. From January to February, we sent 105 samples, and 60 of them came out positive for Lassa fever, while 39 came out negative. The remaining ones are still being awaited. Additionally, Kuni confirmed that 1 medical doctor from the hospital was affected, but hence has since been treated. and discharge. Could he emphasize the need for more assistance considering the alarming number of cases, particularly from the parts of the state? However, he reiterated that Lassa fever is endemic in Nigeria, with sporadic outbreaks occurring primarily during the dry season, and is transmitted to humans through contacts with contaminated food or household items. I think you can see that. I think you can see the picture as expression from the. Yes. This is actually a Lassa fever outbreak right now. Coming from Taraba State. Let me go over to you right now, George Kingsley. Papa Mia, you're very welcome. Yes. So what you can say about this? Because if we add this,
yes.
Now if we add this to the state of the economy right now, you know, the farming, yes. the hunger, the food scarcity with this total outbreak, what do you think that the government should do right now? Because I already have two guests already right now waiting for, because I want to go over to them.
Yes, I think right now, if Lassa fever is coming as an antidote to the existing issue of hardship, poverty, and unemployment, I think Nigeria is going to run into disaster. And disaster is not good enough
at all
for this country. And our president, I think just today, he has come to say that Nigeria's financial situation is not in distress. I think many people will not be happy with that statement, but the time has come when our leaders should know that when food is no more available, sickness or illness or airborne disease will take advantage. If health officers of the citizens are not properly given high prominence or attention, there's virtually going to be more deaths.
Okay, yeah. Now let me go back to this. Yes.
So to avert more deaths, government should start preparing ahead of time. They should make sure that our health facilities, our health consultants, whatever it will take for government to stop it or to nip it in the bud.
Now remember, before I go to Cletus right now, I know he's standing by. Remember that they said they have contacted the NCDC, yes. You know, in order for them to help them to cope this diseases. Because yes, and now I think there should be more. Do you think there is they have to work out some modalities in order to prevent this without working as in addition to the NCDC? Do you think there's anything they should do? Because if this outbreak, if this Lassa fever, if it spreads in the economy, I think we're going to record a lot of death, both the doctors and the patients. Cletus, I don't know if you're standing by there.
I'm here.
Okay, so what do you think they should do, the government should do at this point? Because this one is now coming from Taraba State, in order to prevent it from spreading to other states in Nigeria.
Well, it's not only Taraba that is having Lassa fever outbreak. I think it's there in Teboyin. I think it's there in, I don't know if it's there in Crossing, but I think it's there in Teboyin. Some other states like that. But look, we have to give kudos to the officials of Center for Disease Control.
Yes.
You know, so if you look at the way they managed COVID-19, I think we should be optimistic that they will do well here. So, straightforwardly,
okay,
enlightenment, because the people who affected it is for a reason. It's for, I mean, there's a problem. There's why they get infected. So they need to be enlightened. You know, about how to be, you know, adopt certain lifestyle, stop eating certain things. I mean, rats, avoid being in contact with rats and all those things.
Okay.
But sincerely, I believe that Nigeria is going to overcome this.
Okay.
And I want to use this opportunity to sympathize with the Taraba and every state that is affected by this Lassa fever. I sympathize with them. And we are praying for them, hoping that we overcome this. But basically, the health sector needs to be strong. This is the sad time because the challenges are really much.
Yes.
The challenges are really much. I mean, so it's going to affect the health sector, transportation crisis, food crisis. I mean, low morale. People are not in high spirits. So the sector needs to be strengthened. God forbid that we should allow this to spread. I think we'll overcome this.
Now, thank you. So, yeah. Exactly. I think I agree with you because we have to, and we must overcome this. And like you said, you talk about sensitization, creating awareness, and also applauding the efforts of the NCDC in combating, in fighting this Lassa fever. Because I think once it has to, with the present condition, Nigeria is really going to feel very, very bad about it. But okay, in addition to sensitization, I would say, Franklin Chinedu, I hope you are still there. What do you think, in addition to sensitization, what the government should do in addition to sensitization?
Yes, thank you so much. It's quite unfortunate that such thing is happening in Nigeria at this point. I sympathize with the families affected, and I call on all Nigerians to show right attitude, just like they did during the time of COVID-19. The way we conducted ourselves, the awareness, the sensitization, the education should be also be implemented in this case. There should be Lassa education. There should be sensitization and not sensitization. People that are affected, their families should be tracked, should be tracked, should be traced and quarantined. And just like my brother said, the health sector should be strengthened. They should do the needful. They should be strengthened and do the needful. And they give something as good. Because, you know, it's not everybody that knows about this Lassa fever. There are people that, when you talk about Lassa fever, there's all kind of something. There should be serious sensitization in all schools, in all churches. And the measures that will be followed so that there will be no spread. And by God's grace, I'm believing that it's not as bad as, you know, we expected it to be. By God's grace, going to overcome this issue.
Oh, all right. Papamge, I don't know if you've listened to the both of them. Yes. They said we're going to overcome it. And I believe because it's not really as bad as that COVID-19, when we all experienced really what happened to Nigerians, you know, it was really bad. I think what both of them said, they talked about sensitization, going to churches and then schools, and letting people know about the deadly disease anyway. Though it cannot ravage, just like they caught COVID-19, but still there should be proactive measures, and the proactive measures is to know that there is, you know, this in the air, that this Lassa fever is in the air right now. Sure. Good. I think they really spoke well. Now let's look at the other stories. The last story is another lead story. Hardship, Nigeria's economy not in distress, says our President Bola Tinubu has challenged the notion that the Nigerian economy is in distress, highlighting the progress his administration has made so far and the opportunities for growth and development in the country. The President spoke in an address today at the Conference and Awards 2023 in Abuja today, Tuesday, March 5, 2024, represented by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris. The President shared key initiatives and investment efforts by the administration to support Nigerian businesses, students and vulnerable households, as well as to enhance food security and attract foreign direct investment. The President also spoke in an address today at the 2023, that's in Abuja today. He was talking about that is not really that Nigeria is not really in distress, you know, in consideration of what we are actually going through. That Nigeria will be fixed. Nigeria is not actually in distress. So I don't know what you are thinking about this. What do you think about this? What he said? Because I remember that you mentioned this when we were discussing about the Lassa fever issue. You have to bring it in. But I remember what he said. He said, I should start by respectfully challenging the notion that Nigerian economy is in distress. Distress suggests helplessness, Distress suggests being at the mercy of something we have no control over. Yes. But that is not the case here. And he said, we are challenging times, no doubt, but these times have also been marked by unprecedented opportunities to reset course and to build a new and sustainable economy away from the rent-seeking and the waste that was once the order of the day. Now, listen to this. Tinubu disclosed that intervention funds totaling 200 billion naira have been set aside to support Nigerian businesses in addition to a few federal students loan program and the presidential initiative on CNG. The 200 billion naira, according to the president, will be disbursed through the new special intervention funds established to support Nigerian businesses. Now, did you get the stories about what President is actually saying? He said that Nigeria is not in distress, considering because he has to outline what he has done, the programs, what he wants he has done in the past and present, and what he's going to do in the future. That in consideration of this, Nigeria is not in distress. What can you say about that?
Yes, I think what he's trying to tell us is that as a president, certainly looking from the time this economic situation started, he has come to the conclusion that Nigeria itself as a country is not in distress, but it is the economy that is in distress. So it is very clear to us that the president is now aware of the problem, because if as a leader, nearly you identify the problem, of course you certainly have solutions to the problem. And I want to agree with him that Nigeria's economy, as according to him, is not in distress. He has said very clearly that the economy itself is not in distress. Then what is the reason of telling us that the economy is not in distress? That means that the solutions that we're even expecting are not feasible. So I want to say that as a president, whatever solution that he has put in place should reflect on the people. Okay. That's what we want to see. This 200 billion, since he assumed office, he has been saying it. First they said they were going to give a development bank 150 billion. And then from then till now, we have not heard about that. It has come to 200 billion now that they want to waste on buying food. Why not waste? You are still saying, telling our leaders that the time has come when they should put sustainable programs on ground. Okay, now let me go to now that's this food they will eat within 1-2 weeks. Let's listen to let me listen. People are still hungry. Let me listen to Clayton's plan. Tell us your sustainable plan from the federal starter, the state starter to the local government starter. Okay. What are the sustainable plans? Okay, all you're talking about is the implementation of those plans, right? Yes. Okay, because he said that they can even work with this 200 billion. Okay. Not sharing it to people and then the money is useless. All right. Now, Mr. Clayton's, I know you're actually listening to what is going on here. The president said that Nigerian economy is not actually in distress. What can you say about this? Hello, Mr. Clement. Oh, Mr. Clayton.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so yeah, the president's position is understandable because you don't expect him to support what may add to the fear, to the anxiety Nigerians are experiencing right now. So I think the president is just trying to, just like a dad who has children and there's no food at home and things are pretty bad, and you can hear a father say, look, my children, sorry, things are not that bad, we are going to overcome this. So the president is trying to give hope to Nigerians, which is okay, right? Okay, yeah. If to be told, we are in distress. That's it.
All right.
In fact, let me say something here, because we just in Premium Times. Yes. I mean, about an open letter written by a PDP chieftain, Ubre, from Akwa Ibom. He said, look, that Nigerians have become, that this situation has made Nigerians to become like a time bomb. Have made a time bomb of Nigerians. That's what he said. Meaning that Nigerians, an explosion. In fact, he said Tinubu must act to have now to stop that kind of crisis we had in the NSAS protests. Now, everyone, probably except those in government, that things are that bad. I mean, Tinubu is just trying to make Nigerians to feel hopeful.
Okay.
So, but definitely we're in a bad situation.
Yeah, I think.
So I agree with the president.
Okay. Yes, I think I quite agree with you on that. Yes. Yeah, I was looking at it in that perspective because he's a father. He's a father. Okay. And being the president, if he says that Nigeria is in distress, I think it's going to affect how other people outside is going to look at Nigerians, how other people how they're going to look at Nigerians, and it doesn't give us hope. But here, when he said Nigerians are not in distress, Nigeria's economy is not in distress, I think it's quite understandable. It gives us hope. That's, yeah, I think it's giving us hope of a better Nigeria. That's the way I'm also looking at it, because I think I agree with you. Now, I would say, Franklin, just a very quick one.
Okay, well, when I saw that statement from Tinubu, to be honest with you, I was not surprised. You know, we are in a country where we are suffering and at the same time we are smiling. If you come to social media, you see that what is happening in Nigeria, if it happened in other countries, I'm sorry to say this, Nigeria will break into pieces. But this is a country where people will be through hell. At the same time, everybody is playing cool like it's happening. So I'm not surprised that he made that statement, because definitely he knows that nothing happens. Nothing will happen as long as nobody is, showing any sign of stopping this madness in this country. So I'm not surprised by that statement. But he has made that statement with hope that there are plans for the country. Are we not? I'm expecting that plan to
be implemented.
Well, because as it stands now, Nigerians are going through hell. Nigerians are going through hell. Somebody told me that one of the best countries to govern in the world is Nigeria, because it's the only country that we've been passing through a lot of hell, and everybody acts like okay.
I wish yes, I wish we have much time here to go right now, because our time is already up. I just want to say that's the much we can take for today. You've really spoken well, because I think all those plans should be implemented. Whatever good they have for Nigeria should be implemented, because actually Nigeria is going through hell right now. All right, that's the much we can really take. I want to appreciate you. I was here, Franklin Chinedu. You've been very wonderful, and Cletus Okpong, you are really wonderful. You guys, you really dissected this information. I want to thank you so very much. I also want to thank my colleague here, Kingsley Judge. I know you have a lot of things to say, Papa Mia, but then I know you can say, please stay connected on Atlantic Television socials. Follow and like our page on our Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and on YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, and on Instagram and on TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. Also, you can watch us on live on our website, Atlantic Network TV, and on our app, ATN Live, and on our YouTube and Facebook, Atlantic Television Network. ATN Press Roundtable, we provide the right narrative and news narration. Now, at 8 o'clock, we shall be coming up with Let's Talk, and at the Global News comes your way at 9 p.m. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. I am Angel, who come appreciating you for your time. Good night, and you have a lovely, wonderful evening.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.